We've got to find.
Hello, hello, hello to all the beasties. Welcome to the lair. How's everybody doing tonight? Hi, Papa. Hey, Herman. Hey, Raven. Hi, Kimmy. I've got Croc who I muted. I'll unmute him in a second. And of course, my phone's already beeping. Apparently, I need to put it on silent.
Yeah, I have to do that to my phone occasionally too.
Oh, someone set off my security.
Well, half the planet doesn't know my phone number, so.
Yeah, whatever. So, how's everybody's day doing? Papa, I'll have to go look. I'm going to have to go look for that one, Papa. Hey, Sin. Hey, Croc. Look
Yeah,
up Papa's comment, see if you can find anything about it. How are
hang
you
on.
doing, Sin? We've missed you. We have missed you.
All right.
Sandy. Hold on. I'm muting you for a minute, Croc. And before anybody says anything, yes, I have a list today from going to the dentist. I have temporary veneers from where the one I broke is, and the temporary veneers until my permanent ones are a little bit bulky. So yes, I have a lisp and sound special. That's good, Sin. Yeah, I mean that's never fun. Yay! I'm glad you made it back, Raven. I'm glad it'll let you talk this time. So I was watching some Second Amendment auditor videos. Pulled a few up. Now I feel like we have several problems here when it comes to auditors, especially Second Amendment auditors. Um, I don't think they know gun laws. Hold on. Give me 1 second. So we're gonna cover a few, let's say, basics here, right? We're we're gonna cover. Thanks, Alan. We're gonna, we are going to cover a couple quick, you know, whatever you'd like to call it, things. Now, first and foremost, do not be the dumbass that reaches for your weapon on a traffic stop. Not going to end well. 2, it doesn't matter what kind of carry state you live in. You should probably still tell the cops. That being said, there's about 11 states which are what they call mandatory declaration, which means that the second that you're pulled over, and that police officer walks up to your window and says hi, you need to say, "Hi, officer. Hi, officer. Just so you know, I have a firearm in the vehicle." You must immediately declare. There are other states that you are required to answer truthfully to that. So if they come up and they say, "Do you have a firearm or anything in the car?" You need to tell them yes. There are several states where you technically don't have to tell them, but it's a really stupid idea not to. It is the fastest way to have somebody like me pull you out your window. Just going to throw that out there. And it's not fun for anybody. So, if you have a weapon, please let the lovely officer know. If it is in your glove box or wherever you keep your license, registration, whatever, you need to say, "Officer, here are my hands. I have a loaded weapon in my glove box where my car registration is. Would you like to open it and remove it, or do you want me to remove it?" I have had officers that will tell you keep both hands on the wheel, walk around to the passenger side, open a glove box, and take the firearm out to secure during the stop. I've also had ones that said very carefully, very slowly reach and, open the glove box and then put your hands back. Not a big deal. Tell them. They don't care, but they're going to care if you don't tell them. And then they find it, especially if you reach anywhere near it. There we go. We got the croc back over here.
Okay. Question for you, CCW. Is this something that happened in the last about 24 hours or no? Because I have, in the last 24 hours or so, and over the course of the last 12 or so hours, I have I have a number of stories from pretty much everywhere about a DA's investigator that shot herself.
Yep, so that one's it. So just send me, just pop the link in the private. Okay. So first and foremost, yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, see, Alan. I know you did. I'm gonna pop one up right now, and I'll look. I have yours queued up. I don't know if it's one of the ones I already had picked. I think it actually might be, but we're gonna go for reaching for your firearm during a traffic stop. And see, Alan, this might be the one that you sent me to, but let's check this absolute brain trust out. What do you guys think? Let's check out the brain trust.
Is that a firearm under your jacket? Don't reach for it. Just answer it. I don't know. I'm asking if it's a firearm. So if you reach for it, we have issues. It is. Okay, don't ever reach for it. Okay.
Is that a firearm under your jacket? Hold on, let me just reach for it to show you. Dipshit. This is from Van Balion. The gentleman is amazing.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we head to Oregon for yet another night to travel and rest. These videos are coming thick and fast at the moment that I can hardly keep up. But here we are with another soft-sit attempting the script with a suspended license, no registration, and no insurance.
And a firearm.
Oh, and carrying a concealed firearm without a permit.
You might want to turn that down a little bit.
All this in a...
It's actually really loud.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Great. Anything else?
No, we're good.
Truck that probably shouldn't be anywhere near a road. Right, let's get into the video.
Everyone go check out Van. I'll put him below later.
I'm also Kennedy Middlesex. They say earlier in our conversation being recorded. Yes, it is. The reason for the stop today is that uninsured tags are expired. You have your license on now? Is that a firearm under your jacket? Don't reach for it. Just answer it.
Okay, so I'm going to go back a tiny bit here for a second to show you guys. Here is where she's already...
into the video.
Hold on. I'm going to show you guys where she's already possibly going to be in trouble. There we go. You can see her shoulder holster right here. See?
Yep.
That is her shoulder holster peeking. So he sees that you have a weapon. He sees you're going to do a cross draw. Don't reach for the gun, dipshit.
Yes, it is.
Is it a gun? Nope. I stopped you for other shit. Hell, she's a mad woman. Stop it! Yeah. You literally just... What? No.
And when she reached over with her left hand to start screwing with the papers, she kind of leaned towards the center of the vehicle. You could actually see the outline of the weapon as well.
Yes, I know, Croc. I pointed that out. Thank you.
I don't know. I'm asking if it's a firearm. So if you reach for it, we have issues.
Yeah, I have a gun and I just reached for it. Now I don't know why you're being mean to me.
Wow. He asks if she has a firearm, and the first thing she does is reach for it when he tells her not to.
Dipshit.
I'm from the UK,
Don't
and even I know
reach.
that's one of
Stop.
the dumbest moves you can make.
Just stop.
Will you do me a favor? I'd like to remove that from you.
I would rather remove it myself.
Okay, so here's where we're going to have a problem. The officer, very nicely, said, I would like to remove that. And she said, I want to remove it myself. No. No, no. You don't have that right, okay? Because it's officer safety. And yes, Pennsylvania v. Mims, it is officer safety. You do not have the right, because in order to remove the weapon yourself, you have to unholster it, which would put you in a position to shoot him.
Yes.
So no. I don't care what you would prefer, Karen. Karen, if you're that worried about your gun in the car, don't be a sob sit, Karen. Make sure your shit isn't expired, Karen. Jesus Christ.
You're not going to do that. You're not going to put a firearm in there. Okay, so just hear me out. Stop talking. Just let me explain, okay? It's for my safety.
Oh my God. Who peed in her Cheerios?
I don't mean any harm to you.
Excuse me, but it's about my safety.
Okay,
How is this about your safety?
I cannot tell.
How?
I'm the one that pissed in her Cheerios.
How? How is this about her safety? Because that officer has a taser and a gun. He doesn't need yours. He doesn't.
Well, he might take her gun and shoot her with it. You see,
It's my safety. I'm scared to give it to you. You're a dipshit.
I'm not going to hurt you, nor am I putting up an intimidating
Well, I'm not
Okay, just
going to
listen.
hurt you.
This is what I would like to do, okay? All I would like you to do is cross your fingers like this, put your hand on your head, and I'd like to just grab and take it out. I'm not going to seize
No,
it
I
or
do
anything
not
like
want my weapon outside of my vehicle.
Where's your ID?
Okay. Again, you don't get to decide this. I don't want my weapon outside of my vehicle. Karen, you don't get to decide this anymore. You don't. Okay? And if he wants to secure your weapons in all 50 states, he's allowed to. I can tell you, if I was this officer's very nice compared to me, because I'd already have her at gunpoint. The first time she reached for that, I'd have drawn. Like, put your hands up, hold on to the top of your steering wheel, and let me remove it. She'd be at gunpoint already. Cynthia, I'll get to that in 1 second. I'll explain it all for concealed carry. I'll explain the rules.
I do not want my weapon outside of the vehicle.
Where is your
I am
ID?
willing to put my weapon on the dash so that you can clearly
Do not
see it.
touch that gun.
Fine.
Okay.
Then it'll
I'll
see
tell you
where
what.
it's at.
Put the paper.
Ma'am.
you're about to get hauled out of that car and your ass kicked,
Ma'am.
and you'll deserve it.
Ma'am. Ma'am. I think we're missing something here, okay? I get that because you're a sovereign citizen, you are not the sharpest knife in the chandelier here. But when the nice officer says put it, like, no, don't reach for it. I'm going to put it on my desk. No, you're not. You have to draw it out of a shoulder holster. You are in a cross draw position. Now, I can tell you, I do know of one officer who had a unique way of dealing with people like this. He would tell them to put their hands on top of the steering wheel, and then he'd reach and grab the top of her shoulder belt right there, pull it all the way out till it clicks, and let it snap back and lock. Because then she's not going to be, it'll ratchet back. She can't turn her shoulders enough then to turn her body towards you. I mean, she can still get her arm across her body, but it's a lot harder. And he used to do it all the time. Lock out people's seatbelts. But yeah, Karen, you're going to put it on the dashboard. No, don't touch it. Like, you are lucky that your officer has the fucking patience of Mother Teresa. Because your ass would have been held at gunpoint when you started with the Karen bullshit. I'd have yanked your ass out that window. I mean, I don't know if it would fit. Like, we might as well need... Like, I don't know. I might need a shoehorn to get her out that window, but we could try.
Paperwork on the dash for me? Put the paperwork on the dash.
Why?
Right.
Because I'm telling you.
Because you're a dipshit.
It's a lawful order. Put the paperwork on the dash now and put your hands on the steering wheel and don't move them. Okay? You're being...
Why does she think she's being cute?
Hey, what can I do for you?
Hold on, Croc. I got it for a second. There we go. She literally just crossed her little hands and set them on top like, oh, I'm a sweet Southern belle. Karen, you look and sound like Roseanne Barr. You look and sound like Rosie O'Donnell after a bad day at the Golden Corral. I don't know what this cutesy shit you're trying to pull is in your Kia. But, hey, Roseanne. This be Roseanne Karen over here. Jesus, idiot.
Confrontational, you have a firearm. We're not going to play that game. I'm going to get your name, date of birth, and I'm going to continue my traffic stop. You understand that? That's fine. I recommend that.
I'm going to plead the fifth. Okay, here's the problem. It doesn't apply here.
No, it really doesn't.
Ma'am. Admiralty law does not. Admiralty law does not appear. Does not apply. The laws of Morocco do not apply. You're not part of the nation of Israel. That isn't gonna apply. I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. You want to plead the fifth? Cool. It still. It doesn't. It doesn't. No. These are self-incrimination. We can see your gun. I don't need you to talk. I don't need you to talk at all. Because your car isn't registered. You're suspended. And you're carrying a firearm. Now, there's one thing I always find interesting with these. The majority of these sob sits have some kind of record. So, ma'am, you should just stop while you're at head. And Roseanne, no. Just no. Yeah, Navy, I'll get you in a minute. Stop trying to reach for your goddamn gun, you stupid ass sob sit. I'm gonna plead the fifth. No shit, who cares? I have everything I need on this camera, you dumbass.
Well, if you're not going to plead the fifth, you're going to need to present me with an ID. Can you point to where your ID is?
No, sir. You told me to put my hands on the steering wheel.
You told me you were going to...
So now we're going to play cutesy word games.
Oh, of course.
Look, I have a child. If you think you are going to out cutesy word game my kid, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, officer. You told me to put my hands here. Because you were reaching for a weapon, you dipshit. I legitimately would have this dumb fuck at gunpoint. I'd be like, fine, you can sit here like this with a smug ass look on your face that I'm about to wipe off your face. Keep your hands right there. Let me call for backup. And what we're gonna do is treat this as a felony stop.
Because he can't do that.
And if you've ever been subjected to a felony stop, it's not fun. I liked doing them, but it's not fun. Because you're about to get yanked out the fucking car. So cut the cutesy bullshit, Roseanne. God.
Plead the fifth, which means you're not going to talk anymore. If you're not going to
We
talk,
can't be that
tell me
lucky.
your name and your date of birth. Does that make sense?
Well, it does make sense, but she's not going to let a little thing like common sense creep into this traffic stop now, is she? And what is it about soft sits pleading the Fifth Amendment when they have no intention of shutting up?
So will you tell me your name and date of birth?
Not until I present this paperwork.
Okay.
You're an idiot.
Of course she's an idiot.
You have the right to remain silent, but apparently what you lack is the ability, sir. Okay? You lack the ability. Okay? You do. For one. For two, what you're not going to tell an officer is, I'm not going to tell you who I am and I'm in possession of a weapon until I give you my bullshit soft sit paperwork claiming I'm a citizen of goddamn Morocco or wherever.
3216.
Stop, here we go.
Can I get another unit?
Roll me back up for the non-cooperative traffic stop.
Keep your hands right where they're at.
I will keep them there as long as I can.
Okay. Perfect.
No, you need to do this.
Remain there and your hand needs to stay away from them.
And I already told you, I will keep them there as long as I can. This is not exactly a comfortable position.
Well,
Okay, well, you're holding on to a steering wheel. It doesn't take that much physical exertion. And you know what? If you don't want to remove if you're that worried about it, I'll handcuff your wrists to your fucking steering wheel. Then you'll have to worry about it. But I'm sure when you're reaching for your tub of Ben and Jerry's over there, you ain't got any problem.
you put yourself into this position by refusing to hand over your firearm, lady. And if you find holding your steering wheel with both hands uncomfortable, then maybe driving's not for you.
Not yet. Female's verbally uncooperative.
I am not uncooperative. I am
Yes, you are.
without.
Karen.
Shut up.
Karen. Apparently, we need to discuss the definition of uncooperative. Okay? Because you're the epitome of it right now.
Fine.
Not at this time.
See, you guys always do that.
You always
guys
do
always make
this.
something up that isn't there.
What did I make up today, ma'am?
You're saying I'm being confrontational. I'm not being
Okay,
confrontational.
maybe let me
I
use a
am-
different word. Argumentative.
Well, maybe argumentative, but I'd say so are you because you're.
Okay, look. I understand you people like semantics. We're going to split some hairs here between argumentative and confrontational. They're pretty much the same thing, dipshit. AZ Jeep Girl, the best is she's not pleading the fifth when they're asking about the weapon. When he first stopped her, you could clearly see her firearm in her shoulder holster, and she reached for it. The bigger issue is this dumbass, this absolute dumbass, is refusing to identify. She's like, oh yeah, I totally have a gun, but I'm not telling you anybody.
Then I'm not going to let you have it.
I want to leave it in my car. Roseanne, shut up. Are we keeping you from like hot donut hour at Krispy Kreme? Like, you could be done with this, but no. You have the right to remain silent. What you lack is the ability, you dipshit.
Not getting everything you want exactly when you want it.
So
You're being argumentative because you're mad because you can't have everything you want when you want it. Okay, A, you know who you are? What you sound like? You sound like the chick from Willy Wonka that turns herself into a goddamn blueberry, stomping her feet. Daddy, I want it, but I want it now.
You've got that one mixed up. Faruka's the I want it now girl as opposed to, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, she's the golden egg idiot. Sorry.
Oh,
Whatever.
my,
I want it and I want it now. I mean, like, that's literally what you sound like, okay? So I'm going to need you to shut your mouth. And yes, that officer has every right to want to disarm you with the firearm right there and then, because safety. For fuck's sake, Roseanne. I think she's more manly looking than you are, Croc.
that's saying something.
he was right to call for backup then. Glad we've got that one sorted out.
Yeah, because I gotta survive every contact, and
I
I'm gonna
understand
get
that.
what I want when there's a firearm involved.
You know what?
It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry, but it's the police that have proved themselves to be unreliable.
Oh yeah.
What? No.
Have you ever met me before?
Yes, I
You've
have.
met me. Where did you meet me?
Matter of fact, really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You
yeah, it
haven't met
does.
me, so
I
therefore
met
you have
you.
no idea whether
I don't know
I'm
where.
or not.
All I know is you're wearing a monkey suit.
A monkey suit? I believe it's a police uniform and a badge. But that's fine. I get what you're trying to do. You're mad at the badge, not at me. I'm just trying to go
I
home
don't
every day.
trust the badge.
Okay.
So
Dipshit. You don't trust the badge. Go the fuck home.
Stay there.
Stay off the streets. I don't know what to tell you, but insulting the nice police officer is not going to help you. All it is going to do is earn you a trip out your window. And if I can't shoehorn your big ass out that window, I'm going to rip you out over the fucking center console. God damn.
basically, you're generalizing. That's a really bad habit to get into. It pretty much makes you hateful towards people
I
you
love
don't
the fact
even
that
know
a
and
Brit
have never met.
Okay, you don't have to
knows
trust
this
me.
better
But
than
I
her.
also, not that I don't trust you. I can't trust you because I don't know you. Okay, I stop.
And you won't tell me
hundreds-
who you are.
I stop hundreds, possibly thousands of people every year, and I have to survive each of those contacts for
And I
a
understand
duration of 25 years.
that. I
Okay?
understand that.
I know how to do that, and I know how I want people to react if they do have a firearm, and so that's what I go off of. Okay.
And I was willing to compromise with you.
No, you weren't.
You're not willing to compromise. You want
What
it
is
your
the
way.
Compromise.
I am willing to put it on the dash, or even to allow
Okay.
you to put it on the dash. I am
I would
not
like to do that.
willing to allow you to remove it from my vehicle.
Well, he
Okay.
didn't actually ask to
I
remove
can
it
work
from your
with you on that a
vehicle.
little bit.
He just
If I'm
asked
going to
you
put
at
it
the
on your
beginning if
dash,
he
I'm
could
going
secure
to
it.
unload it first.
That's fine.
Okay.
And you
just
said
put your hands
no.
on your head with your
You
fingers
did not
crossed so I can remove
ask.
it from you. Thank you.
You did not ask what he was going to do with it. He just said he wanted to secure it. It was
Any other
your
firearms with you?
stupid shit self that assumed,
My hands down now.
Yes, ma'am.
like everybody else that thinks they know the
If you could
fucking
keep
law,
them at least visible, that would be wonderful.
that he was going to take it out of your
Now,
car.
can I begin going over this paperwork with me?
Let me-
No,
let-
nobody is going.
I'm not saying I'm going to disagree with you. Maybe
Nobody cares about your paperwork. Karen,
No, it's
Right.
not legitimate.
No
No
one
one needs
cares.
that amount of paperwork for a traffic stop. All you need to produce is your valid license, registration, and insurance, which I'm certain you are going to struggle to produce.
Okay.
I've done
Well, that's
my
fine.
research on my own.
Once I get this done, we'll move on with the rest of the stop.
oh, for the love of fuck. What is this? Roseanne.
It's been a lot easier to push the heel.
You don't get to decide how things go. Okay. I'm all about I'm all about respecting you and trying to work with you.
I was
but-
trying to be helpful.
You were
You
not.
disrespectful dipshit. You absolutely disrespectful dipshit. I have to look after and see what state this is in because I think she's in violation of a different statute. But what is your problem? I'm not going to give you the gun so I go over this paper. No, you're going to give me the gun right the fuck now because if you don't, I can tell you right now how this ends, and it's not going to end in your favor. No, ma'am, no.
I was
Yes,
asking
yes,
you to do something,
I
and
was
you were
talking-
refusing to.
I was talking about with getting the bullets out of the gun. I was just trying. It would have been easier and faster to get the bullets out if you'd have pushed the release.
Okay.
That's all I was
Well,
trying to
before
say.
that-
Okay, Captain Firearms Expert. Hate to break it to you, but we're not gonna just drop the magazine. Okay? He's going to take every single bullet out of the out of the magazine. And if you have a round chambered. And then he's gonna lock your slide back. Okay? Great.
that
Dumb shit.
And things would have gone easier and quicker had you just given him your firearm when he asked for it. But you had to play your silly games.
I was giving you a lawful order, and you were refusing to obey that. For personal feelings, I understand that. You did not prefer it that way. But there's
just
times when
caring.
a traffic stop or an interaction with
My gun
police,
is
you
still
have to
not on my
set your
dash.
personal opinion.
My gun is still not on my dash. Why do you
to
care?
obey a lawful
To
order?
put my weapon on my dash.
Afterwards.
No.
Correct.
You
After I
agreed
told you.
to put my weapon.
Okay, we're gonna stop this. I'm
on
gonna wait for the
dash.
chief. We'll go from there. I'm gonna put it on the dash now. You need to not reach for it, and I'm gonna put it on that side. Will you roll that window down?
I have to turn.
Just turn it. Turn it to the on. Yeah, accelerator on. That's fine.
Ma'am, I think you forgot a piece of the car. Ma'am, where's the hood?
Where's anything? I mean, the front end is all crumpled up. I'd be surprised if her headlights worked. And there's no flashers, at least over here on the port side. The hood is
Ma'am, I think you have bigger issues. Hold on, let's.
Wow, just look at the state of this truck. No hood and all those sharp edges to nick yourself on as you pass by.
It's rusty, so it's been
And
that
yes,
way for a
apparently
while.
driving without a hood is illegal in Oregon. But an unroadworthy truck is the least of her problems right now.
Actually, I'm gonna hold it here until the chief's here.
You know what? I'm gonna hold it because you're a dumb fuck.
Okay, where's your identification at? Fine with me. Ma'am, is there a reason you're being difficult? I'm trying to give you every opportunity to...
Quite honestly, I don't feel like repeating myself. And if I go through all this with you, then I have to go over it yet again with the chief.
Okay.
I don't feel like repeating myself.
So then you obviously need to talk to Mr. Chili DeCastro and get yourself a trifold, and you can just hand him out.
wow.
Because last time I checked, y'all just love to talk and don't want to fucking shut up.
I assume by trifold we're talking about the hats.
No. Chili's trifold, why his sub-sit laws are valid in his little world. No, like, literally.
Oh, jeez.
Lady, what is your problem? And you're saying it would have been faster for him to whatever. It was a revolver, so he can't even empty the magazine. Yes, you just have to pop the cylinder open and dump him into his hand. This isn't a problem. But you're a dipshit.
So I am not refusing to identify. I am simply requesting that you take into account that there's more to it than maybe even what you know.
No, you are refusing to identify. He said, ma'am, I need your name and date of birth, and your response was no.
Yeah.
You said no.
My little brain says she doesn't have any identification.
I just like maybe there's more to it than you know. You are not giving your teacher an excuse as to why you didn't turn your homework in. Your name and date of birth is not. I mean, goddamn, Roseanne.
If there was something more to know about his job, then he would not be hearing it for the first time on the side of the road from somebody driving a truck in this state. Trust me.
I know you're an officer and you think you know all the laws. Sorry, but nobody knows all the laws.
That includes you.
And you also are lacking common sense. Fuck the law. You don't even have common sense. And obviously you don't know the law either.
That man has a firearm of his very, very own. And he has the authority to use it on you if you get stupid.
What is... Oh my God. Karen.
I would certainly hope not. I feel bad for anybody that has to.
Okay, so this is where the chief arrives, and as he's the chief, this is obviously not his first rodeo when dealing with soft sits.
So, Chief, will you roll that window down for the chief so we can hear everything that's being said? So I have the firearm now. It's clear for me.
Excuse me.
So essentially approached. I know she had the firearm on her hip, not a big deal. I asked her if it was a firearm that she'd point at it or tell me instead of reaching it. She reached for it. Anyway, I asked her to put her hands on her head so I could remove it from her and take it back to my vehicle to secure it during the rest of the stop because she's mildly argumentative. She refused to do that. We ended up coming to a compromise. She let me take it off her and unload it. So it's been a bit of a confrontation. I've asked her for a license multiple times. She said she wouldn't give it until you got here. So that's where we're at. So can I have your license?
I don't want to repeat myself.
Okay, can I have your license, please?
Okay. I've got my camera recording as well. Okay. Now, as I told you before I relinquish my information, I'm going to go over this paperwork.
No, you're not.
Okay?
Your paperwork is garbage, lady. We all know it, and luckily the chief knows it too and calls her out on it before she even has the chance to get past the first page.
So,
Nobody cares.
as you're asking me for my driver's license, I do want you to know that the right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile is not a mere privilege which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Under this,
Apparently, your vehicle isn't allowed to have those rights based on the amount of damage to it. Your vehicle got no fucking rights, apparently.
I've seen worse, just not often.
Look, here's the thing. She's in Oregon. Oregon is not a mandatory disclosure state, even if they ask. So that's fine. But, stop. And don't tell me. I won't tell you who I am until I go through my paperwork. Okay? Maybe you can write Chili DeCastro a letter, like while he's in jail, or one of these idiots. I don't know, like write one of them a letter. Maybe you can find some boo that'll help you figure out how to do this better, but you suck.
this constitutional guarantee, one may, therefore, under normal conditions, travel at his inclination along the public highways.
Why are you reading something you
and while
printed out
conducting
off
himself
of
in an
some
orderly
stupid-ass
and decent
website?
manner, neither interfering with nor disturbing another's rights. He will be protected, not only in his person, but in his safe conduct.
Are you seriously going to read an entire
And I can give you word on that if you would like.
encyclopedia that you printed out off some dumb shit's website?
No, the U.S. Supreme Court has not.
Yes, the U.S. Supreme Court has, dipshit.
No, you do not.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
chief
they
is spot on. The
do.
US Supreme Court has never ruled that a driver's license is unconstitutional. In fact, they have ruled time and time again that the right to travel does not include the right to operate a motor vehicle on a public road without the proper credentials.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love this argument, right? I have the right to travel. And when I travel, I have the same rights as, citizens, blah, blah, blah. No. So here's the thing. That's not what this is talking about, right? What that is that, like, you can come visit the United States, and while you're in the United States, you're afforded the rights of a citizen. When it says travel, it means, like, somewhere else. It doesn't mean traveling as in, picking up the ball and running with it in basketball or operating a vehicle. And I mean, I'd call that a truck or whatever, but I don't know if it's got enough parts. I'd have to ask it what it fucking identifies as, apparently. All I know is you're lucky you're in a liberal ass state like Oregon.
Looks like a Chevy Blazer to me.
Kill you. Your ass would have got drug out the window here. Or you'd be at gunpoint. Especially once you started reading me some stupid ass shit you printed out off a webpage.
Whether it's commercial or not. Instead of reading from cherry-picked court cases from crap you've downloaded from the internet, you should maybe go read the 10th Amendment, because it allows each state the right to implement traffic laws how they see fit. but to her credit, she...
Okay. So let's see what else this dipshit does. She sits there. She argues. She argues. We're going to argue some more. Oh, but let's see what happens with fat ass now. And usually I don't have an issue with body shaming, but Roseanne over here deserved this.
And yes, I checked.
Let's
She's
see.
subscribed to both of these channels who consistently put out false and misleading information on the right to travel. And people like this are listening and hanging on their every word, and then taking this false information and using it in the real world where it has real world consequences.
Yes,
it's
walk around
disgusting.
And find out.
So I'm pretty kept up to date. And again, if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow later. Okay.
But we're not going to argue this on the side of the road. Hey, Ron.
Okay, well it might. So go, ma'am. Go ahead and step out of the
I love the Mojave.
You guys are taking something.
I used to go to Joshua Tree all the time.
Again, not the place for the argument.
I have
We're
not
not going
even
to argue
said
on
that
the
I'm
side of
going
the
to tell you,
road.
but we need you to step out now. So
Get out
we
the
can
car.
get you in custody safely, and then we'll go from there. So please
Get
face
out
that way.
the car.
Please
Oh,
face that
Jesus
way.
Christ.
Hands behind your back.
Ow.
Good.
Would you
Do you
please
need two sets of
Can they
cuffs?
reach?
I have a right shoulder injury.
Okay.
So
Chief, will you hold this
Nobody
arm? We'll
cares.
put 2 sets of cuffs on you.
and please,
You need to take the cuffs for her.
I'm only
Yeah, because he's
limited
got
by
barred
those 2
cuffs. So we've barred cuffs, so they're going to need like
Better if
2.
you were able to hold a little more still.
I'm sorry. Omar the 10, yeah, he needs 2 sets of cuffs to secure her. Ma'am, it is time to consider Weight Watchers.
Or something.
If you need 2 sets of cuffs, okay?
Let me check the tightness on this one.
Ma'am, you do have the right to remain silent.
You have the right to remain silent, but we know you sure shit don't have the ability.
Or to hire a lawyer, or be appointed to represent you at no expense. Do you understand those rights, ma'am?
Just so you know, not answering.
I'm going to double lock these just so they don't...
Auditor watch, which ones? The barred cuffs or the standards? Yeah, no, easy Jeep. That's what I'm saying. You need 2 sets of cuffs for her. I told you, her name is like this is straight up Roseanne Barr over here.
Okay, man. I'll have you walk back this way with me. In front of my car here.
Please don't let her sit on the hood of that car. It does not have the structural integrity to hold her.
Have someone who is a licensed, valid driver who can come take control of
Ma'am, you need a bra.
within a reasonable amount of time, within the next 20 minutes or so.
Ma'am, you need a bra, a belt, and a shirt that isn't a medium when you are clearly like a 3XL, okay? I don't care how much somebody weighs. I don't care if they're fat. But please don't dress like this. I don't want to see your saggy ass boobs. You need a bra. They need to be like up. Gravity is not your friend. Like pull them up to where they go.
Gravity is a woman's friend. I have discovered this over the course.
See, Alan, darling, you're right. I've got. You know what, guys, if you're here for that other thing we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Maybe she can hide her gun between her boobs and her fat roll, like the other teacher did, just between the fat rolls. Ma'am, you need a bra. No, Sandy, it doesn't look like 2 pigs wrestling under a blanket. It looks like 4 pigs stuffed in a goddamn 55-gallon, like into a gunny sack. And why aren't your pants even buckled? If you can't button your pants, they're the wrong side. Yeah, Kimmy, I've been calling her Roseanne the entire time. I said it's like Rosie O'Donnell or Roseanne. She kind of look like Rosie O'Donnell too. You know what? Maybe somebody should tell her that they have like the belly bands for when you're pregnant and you can't zip your jeans, but you're not quite big enough to need like pregnancy jeans. You just like hold where the button's supposed to be. Yeah, Ron, she is a disciple of Omar the tent maker, but I think Omar must have run out of circus tent material. The fuck.
Bryson.
Okay, Rosie.
Okay. Are you still at the mechanical address? It's on your license. I'm only asking because I'm trying to think about how long it's going to take somebody to get here.
Yes, I live in Canada.
Would you like to call Bryson to see if he can come get
Okay, we're done with this dumb fuck. Let's see if there's anything else good. Because she's gonna, yep, nope, watch her head into the car. You need a bra. You need a bra.
Well, that's probably the least of her issues at this point.
No, it's for everyone else's safety.
Yeah.
I don't care about her. That poor officer's gonna have PTSD having to deal with that. Because you know now that he put her in the back of the car, when they get to the Sally Port, he's gonna have to pat her down. Like literally. And I'm sorry, if you call me as the female person with a badge on duty, I'm not patting her down. She's more, no, that is not a woman. Yeah, Raven, I'm sure she's not wearing one. That shirt was damn tight enough you'd have seen the outline.
Then there was this from Ben, and we wouldn't have nearly as much entertainment if it were.
Yeah, no, easy girl. She isn't, because when she was in the car and she pulled her jacket back and stuff so you could see for the shoulder holster, she has no lines. I just think she, yeah. I think she just has her shirt tucked up under the boobies because she has no lines. And at one point when she looked sideways, you would have seen the bra strap because of that weird cutout. And if somehow she was wearing something that was supposed to be a bra, well, then it clocked out early and quit its job and filed for unemployment, okay? And so you need to go find one that actually does something. Some duct tape, something industrial size. Maybe you can get one made out of steel. I don't know. But goddamn, lady, why? What? Nobody wants to see this. Predator Watch, I know you weren't looking that closely, but it's just like a female thing. It's just like one of those things you subconsciously notice. You figured she'd be dragging, but yeah, but see, Raven, they're only dragging if they have like decent sized boobies before they get fat and gravity takes over. She was flat chested before, it's just her man boobs. I don't know what it was, but goddamn. Yeah, AZ, yeah, no. There was no straps. You know the problem of the strap. And she had enough of a muffin top over those jeans. She'd have had a muffin top over the bra too, okay? So, we're gonna go to the next one in a minute. Hold on. Gotta get rid of this for 1 second. How do I want to do this? Before I get to this next video really quickly, AZ, I need to text you because I think tomorrow's going to work. Let's see. Predator Watch, Navy Tech, Spencer, Patrick, AZ, Sir Stewie, Raven, Spencer, Ron, C. Allen, Sandy, Mullenhole. Who else am I missing? I had everyone. Ben. I already said hi to Kimmy and everybody. And Wrangler. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure I got a chance to say hi to everybody first. Yeah. Raven, it's not that spandex is like a privilege, not a right. It's just, I'm sorry, I don't think the spandex, I don't think what she's wearing has that kind of structural stability. Nice. See, Alan, you're getting a cookie for this one. Spanx. There is no amount of Spanx, Sandy, that is going to hold that in. The structural integrity, that thing is going to pop and take someone's eye out.
I'm with C. Allen here.
What? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I put that up.
Isn't the best one to do because it did kind of leak a bit on the ground. But yeah, using whole metal, that they either aircraft or better yet, shipboard hull metal might actually help. Maybe.
Okay.
It's just really cold in the winter.
Okay, guys, ready? We've got an armed felon that's a solve sit.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go.
Okay then.
Why is tripping about that?
I think I got this from Van too. Yeah, Van Balion. I love him. He's awesome. Yes.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we head to Arkansas for a traffic stop where a sovereign citizen gets pulled over initially for driving on a suspended license, but he immediately raises the officer's suspicions by jumping out of his vehicle. You know, like he has something unregistered under the driver's seat. Anyway, you've all seen the video title and thumbnail and intro, so let's get straight into the video.
Yeah,
You can't jump out of your car before we tell you to. We don't like that.
Hey, shut the door. Come back here. Come back here. Hey, pulled you over. Take your hands out of your pockets. Okay. Pulled you over today. Okay. Because you have suspended driver's license. I ran your tags. Okay. And I found that the registered owner was. You say what? Take your hands out of your pockets, please. Okay. No.
Good call by these officers to keep his hands where they can see them, especially because of what they end up finding in that car.
My man.
No, I ran your tags. Okay. I understand it, but don't put your hand on me. Don't reach your hand. Okay. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Hey, just settle down. Yeah, we're allowed to.
Oh my God.
You want me to explain? I know that you cannot do that.
Yeah, I can. I can pull you over.
Do that, sir. Why do you need my keys?
I need your keys so I can secure your vehicle. Yes. Yes, I can pull you over. And yes, I can detain you when you jump out the fucking car and run over to me. Don't. It's how you get shot. This is how you get shot.
You need to catch a criminal charge. Why? Because you're detained for traffic offense. You're not allowed to leave. You're under arrest for driving on a suspended driver's license. That's not a criminal offense. It's a traffic offense.
What?
It's a criminal offense. It's a misdemeanor that you can try and not turn into a felony.
Depends on the state. Depends on the state. In some states, if it's not your first offense, it is a felony.
Oh.
Not always a misdemeanor. Some states, it's a felony. And it's also dependent on the reason. Pennsylvania, if your license is suspended because you had a DUI, like you're on DUI number whatever, or they suspended you because you were more than double a speed limit or something in a school or work zone, it's a felony.
Yeah.
It's a traffic offense, not a criminal offense. No, that's not a misdemeanor. Okay.
Of course, we soon learn that this guy knows the law because he's been studying it for 10 years. I would say that 10 years has been a complete waste of time and probably money down the drain if he thinks that driving on a suspended license is something you cannot be arrested for and charged with.
So just lean against this. Do it. We don't have to talk about it. Okay. Well, quit. I'm not tightening up. Okay. You're about to find your way to handcuffs. Okay. Settle down. Okay. Just settle down. Okay. I'm being detained. Yes. You're under arrest. What's your RAS? What is RAS? Reasonable suspicion. Driving on a suspended license, Charles. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Dude, this is the very definition of reasonable articulable suspicion. They ran your tags and you came back as suspended. End of.
I ran your tag. It says you own the vehicle, and it
traffic stop. I'm not going to argue with silly stuff. We'll see you there. Okay. Mr. Terry.
Yes. So what? Okay. So y'all are arresting me for suspended driver license that I don't have.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters whether you're in possession of your license. The fact is your license is suspended, so you shouldn't even be driving. But I think the suspended license charge is going to be the least of your worries when they find that firearm under the driver's seat.
Come here. Walk right over here. Okay. So that's you.
1649. Okay, you got behind my car suspended. Okay, I'm suspended. I didn't. Okay, you're saying
Right,
I'm
so you
suspended.
can't drive.
Driver's
But I
license
haven't did anything criminal.
So I ran your license plate.
But that's not criminal.
I ran your license. It's a misdemeanor in the state of
It's not
Arkansas.
criminal, man.
Okay, well, I'm not going to argue this.
I studied law for 10 years. That's not criminal.
What? While you
All right,
what?
well, right now
What?
you're under arrest for
Jailhouse
driving
law?
off your driver's license. And I'm not going to have this silly argument anymore, okay?
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what is all this about.
I'm
Well,
just
I told
trying
you
to figure
15
out how
times.
Okay, can I call my wife?
No, you cannot.
Imagine having to explain the reason why you've been arrested 15 times and you still don't get it. Welcome to the world of sovereign citizens. They study the law for 10 years but can't figure out that driving on a suspended license is illegal.
I'm gonna call
Put
Chloe.
this right on my seat, okay? Is there anything in your car that can get you in trouble? Any weapons?
Probably.
No, I'm towing your vehicle per departmental policy. No, you can't. Go back over there, please.
He's going to drive my car. He said he's going to drive my car
He
back.
cannot.
Why not?
Because per department policy, I have to tow your vehicle.
Why? I mean, y'all just
Because department policy.
Yeah, there's a
says-
reason why he wants his buddy to take that car, because he knows it's about to be searched ahead of the tow.
Yeah, and
Enter
they
605.
don't
Be
see
another
me
driver
as a
here,
right.
please. Yeah, I'll get
But I
you.
don't have a
I
right
don't want to talk to a supervisor because I don't understand this.
all of
Y'all
that
tore my car.
because I'm
Henry
so what we get to
605,
do is
the
put an
street crime
inventory.
supervisor available at the moment.
So that inventory says like
6416 Colonel Glenn, DuPois Laundromat. Your presence is being requested, sir.
That doesn't make you speak. Y'all just jump behind my car. Y'all jump behind my car.
So
I'm
you have
sorry,
no
boss.
reasonable expectation of privacy.
no, you
No
don't.
reason.
You have
Y'all had no
nothing.
right to speak. I wasn't
Stop
you on the
acting like
case.
you know.
I'm waiting for your court to It's the only reason
Hey, 605, sorry, I'm in a verbal argument. We're fine, nobody run code. Everybody slow down. It's all good.
throw me a handcuff.
We've explained it to you about 15 times. I'll just continue. So right now, per departmental policy, I'm inventory search until your car. Not going to happen.
I can do whatever I want.
So per my department policy, I have to tow it. I'm not allowed to let anybody take it.
Because he got driver's suspended license.
Yes, sir.
I can drive his car.
No, sir.
It doesn't
My
matter.
department policy doesn't allow me to do that.
Policy says no, we don't care. But good try. Swing and a miss.
Hey, help him put him in the car.
Gun Wrangler, it is a thug right here. This is a sub. I had the auditor before.
Yeah, I pulled over because I thought it was my neighbor.
Oh my god. Let's speed this up a little bit to the good part.
Driving on a suspended license, then, like I said earlier, he's just wasted 10 years of his life studying what he thinks the law is.
There we go. We have a firearm.
I paid them to do their job. I'm a taxpayer.
And we just got a gun from a convicted felon.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now we have to cover this, guys. Because I saw this, and actually, I think I've seen it in a couple of people's chats. Everybody keeps saying, but what if you're a felon, can you never own a gun? Look, if you're a convicted felon, you cannot own a firearm. There are certain situations in which you can get your Second Amendment right back, right? And the way that happens is if it's something like you lost it for a felony because you owed too much child support, and in your state, that's deemed a felony. If your felony was violent, it does not matter how much money you have to pay a very nice attorney. You're not going to get that right back. I would also like to point out, as I've seen in other chats, if you're a convicted felon and you're what we call a prohibited person, you don't even need to be in possession of the firearm. You don't even need to be in possession of a live round. If you are in possession of a casing, a single spent casing, it's enough for a charge. So no. And with all of that to say, look, if you, whatever, I carry, and I'm working on a series covering the laws in every state. There are states where you need to identify and tell them you have a weapon the second that you're pulled over. There are some states, if they ask you, you have to tell them the truth. And then there's a couple states where there's no duty to do so. Again, I am going to advise that you not take that route. Here's the thing. Everybody talks about the 21-foot rule. Thank you, Mayor McWrench, Mayor Sandy, Ardo, Kimmy, Linda, and I all got memberships to the lair. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, and welcome to the new beasties. So here's the thing. What you need to understand are the laws and the rules. And if you're carrying a gun, don't, everyone's like, oh, well, if they're within 21 feet, yes, that's called the Tuller drill. 21 feet isn't a hard and fast rule. It's called the Tuller drill. And if they're under any suspicion, you're probably coming out at gunpoint. And then when they run you and they find out you're a felon, it's not going to go well, and you're going to get violated, and the ATF is not going to look kindly.
Nor do they play nice.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Navy Techs. That's very sweet. We're loving having you here. I will actually get you in 1 second. Let me do that real quick. Where'd it go? There we go. I'm glad that your family appreciated the Beastie Fund. So this one, can the officers get a UDS? Yes. So what the deal is they are going to first obviously do a PBT. If they do a PBT, Navy Techs, look at your Instagram. If they do a PBT and the PBT comes back zeros and they still suspect, they're going to send you for blood draw. And off the blood draw, they're going to use mass spec and check for cocaine, meth, marijuana, whatever. Because especially now that marijuana is legal in certain states, what we do is we look for the metabolite. We don't just look to see if you did you get rid of? Nope.
If memory serves, the metabolite takes a while to get out of your system.
Okay, guys, mods, if somebody's got a fucking obnoxious name, drop them. I'm not playing this game. Hey, Navy Techs.
Yo, Tech.
Hey, y'all. So here's what the thing is. We look at the metabolite because while I cannot, in fact, tell, marijuana, unlike alcohol, there's no breathalyzer. It's going to show up in your system or not. The only way to tell if it was active and you were actively high at the time is you have to go off the metabolite in the blood and the concentration. And so that's what they're going to do. If you're acting a fool and they think it's under the influence. And, that's why it's not always driving impaired. And it's also incorrect. Like, well, I blew below the legal limit if it's alcohol. It actually doesn't matter in those states. If you are driving inappropriately, they can actually still get you. So, that's well impaired. I think it's being over the legal BAC limit. And maybe Tech, you there?
Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing tonight?
Good. Yeah, and AZG girl's right. You need to know the gun laws of any state you're driving through. And you also need to know the gun laws if you are flying with a firearm. Obviously, yes. I compete. I I compete, and so I've had to fly into states where my weapon was not legal because that was the closest airport, and it's a giant pain in the ass, let me tell you. But you need to know the gun laws.
Actually, make them get off the dime on what is the procedure for moving a firearm through such a state. That's the question.
I can answer that easily. Give me 1 second, and I'll answer that. You need to know the laws, and if you are traveling through a state that the firearm's a problem, my advice first is to find a different route and just try to find a way around it.
Don't
because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But what you need to do if you are traveling with a firearm, the firearm needs to be in a part of the vehicle that is not accessible by the passenger compartment. So, like the trunk of the car. And if you have an SUV like I do, like my Tahoe, I have to make sure that it is in a case with 2 padlocks on it and that it is unloaded, the case is locked, and that the ammunition is in a separate case that is locked in a separate part of the vehicle with a different set of locks.
God, that's crazy.
That is the other way. If you need to move a firearm, let's say you inherit one or you are moving, your best course of action is honestly to have an FFL ship it to another FFL and pick it up in another state. Because I can tell you, California, New York, they're going to take it, and you're going to have to fight in court to get it back.
Well,
They'll hold it.
If I may do this, break in as well. I apologize, but it's not just firearms that you need to worry about. So when I went back out to California for the second time, or when I went back to like my second round of A school, I took all my guns and I left them with my dad because I was like, I know how California is. I'm not going to mess with it, right? But I had a collapsible metal baton, and I was like, sure, there's not going to be problems with an asp, right, in California.
Nope.
And I looked up, but I looked at the rule and I looked at the laws because I'm a smart person, and it turns out that owning a collapsible metal baton, at least back in 2012 in California, was a misdemeanor.
Still is.
And I was like, Jesus. All right, California.
Yeah, so you can't have the Kubatons. Not only can you not have those, several states, you actually can't even own pepper spray.
And I love how they call it mace. It's not mace. Mace is like military grade, cop grade. No, what you buy is pepper spray.
No, it's not. Mace is a trade name. Mace is literally a brand name.
Oh, okay.
It's OC, which is Olarezo capsaicin. But no, Mace is actually the trade name. Croc, what trial was that I had a fucking fit that they kept saying they maced me? I'm like, no, they didn't mace you because they haven't sold that. It was the New Mexico one where the prosecutor handed the suspected murderer a gun, like the actual weapon, not a simunition, without checking it.
And then went on it.
And then said, show me how you assaulted the person with it. And got into a wrestling match until the judge was like, somebody secure that firearm and clear it.
Oh, can I say one more thing right fast? If you are concealed carrying in a car, right, and you get pulled over by a cop, like in Texas, the thing is in Texas, especially if you have a CCW, and it's in a lot of states like this, right, you have to declare it, right?
Let
me give you one piece of advice for those that may not know, and I know y'all know, but some people may not. Do not use the word weapon. Okay? And I've seen this because I have cop buddies that are like, this is what you do, because sometimes you have younger cops, they hear the word weapon, they automatically go, they go full on, right? Say I'm concealed carrying, or I have concealed, or, show your CCW if you have to have one. Like in Texas, you don't have to have one, right? So if I'm concealing in my car and I get pulled over, one of the first things I want to tell the cop, besides, give him my insurance and license, all this kind of stuff, is that I am concealing, right?
So let me burst your bubble for 1 second there, darling.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a law, both state and there is a state statute. If you are armed, and whether the officer asks you or not, if you come in contact with a law enforcement officer or are pulled over, and you are a resident of Alaska, or you are currently in Alaska, Arkansas, Louisiana, Maine, Michigan, Nebraska, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Texas, first words out of your mouth is that you must disclose that you are armed immediately before you are asked. Otherwise, it's a felony.
Oh no. And what I'm saying is, don't use the word weapon, right? You can say I'm concealed carrying and whatever, because one of the things I've seen like a bunch of my cop friends say this, and also I've seen videos on it, is if you say the word weapon, if they have a younger, like a rookie with them or whatever, that can put them into a mode. So it's just a safer way of saying I am carrying, because yes, you do have to disclose, right? I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is, like, just say I'm concealed carrying, because the word weapon can be, it freaks some of the rookies out.
It may freak the rookies out, but the problem is, I'm gonna disagree there with the tell them you're concealed carrying, because if you have a firearm in your glove box, it's not on your person. You're not concealed.
It's still concealed. No, I'm going to argue with you on that, because it's still concealed. For example, in the state of Georgia, you can carry a gun in your car. At least when I was in Georgia, right? You can carry a gun in your car as long as it wasn't concealed, which means it couldn't be in a glove box, it couldn't be in your center console, it had to be on like the seat next to you, and but it had to be visible, and it was authorized. What wasn't authorized was putting it in someplace where they couldn't see it. Right?
Here's where the difference is. I'm not saying that that the weapon isn't concealed. There is a difference between saying I am concealed carrying, which means it's on your person, and I have a weapon concealed in the vehicle. They are different things.
Okay.
They are. While it sounds stupid, they are legally different things.
It's basically based on the cops I've talked to. Like it was just a safer route to say that, even if it's in a glove box or in a center console. So.
Safest way, and I can tell you with everybody I've pulled over with things, is, hey, I have a gun in the car.
Yeah.
Officer, I have a firearm in the glove box. Officer, I have a firearm in a holster at the small, all you have to say.
Oh, yeah.
And generally they actually won't. If you reach for the glove box and then you see it, that's when they're going to flip.
Yeah.
And then in Illinois and Arizona, if the police officers, if you encounter law enforcement and they ask you if you're carrying, you have to tell them the truth. If you are not in one of those states I have listed off, or Arizona or Illinois, you actually are not, you have no legal duty to disclose.
Correct.
It's not your best option, but you don't have a legal duty.
Well, and one thing I recommend, like in the years I've done this and being a CCW permit holder and all this kind of stuff, right? Like I'm going to get, like, I don't have to have a CCW in Texas, but I'm going to get one. And the reason I'm going to get one is because of the reciprocity in other states, and two, because it's a lot easier to do that if I just so I'm going to hand the cop my identification, my driver's license, my insurance, my registration, all this kind of stuff, and I can just put that CCW in there with it. That way, I don't even have to say anything, because now he knows, and then he can ask me, where is it, and is it on your person, is it in the car, and then we can have a chat, right?
Yeah, I can tell you right now, if I pull you over and you pull that, and I have to play 50 questions to find out where it is, you won't be real unhappy.
It's not. You're saying 50 questions. If you're like, oh, are you? So you have so if the cop takes my CCW and looks at me and goes, do you have a gun? I'm like, yes, it's in my center console. And he's like, okay, well, I need you to step out of the car, and then I'm going to, take the weapon. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's not 50 questions. What I mean?
Well,
it's not like having with big old tons of fun, right?
Well, you actually can't even do that in Texas, because in Texas, as soon as you're pulled over, as soon as they say you're pulled over, license and registration, you can't hand them your CCW. The first words out of your mouth has to be, officer, I have a firearm in the vehicle.
Okay.
That is literally what the law is. And will they generally not be a bitch about it if you just hand them your concealed carry permit with everything? Generally, right. What the actual law in the state of Texas is, before you are asked, before you hand them anything, the minute you make contact with them, you must declare it. And it explicitly lists out in the law before they ask.
Well, do you have to does it, when you say declare it, does it specifically say, do you have to verbalize it, or
yes.
Is it okay? Because technically, if you hand them your concealed carry permit, right, that's declaring it, right?
You must disclose to law enforcement. You must disclose verbally to law enforcement officers if you are armed, whether they ask you or not, and before anything else is said, immediately and without being asked.
And I guess I just do it by nature. I don't have a problem doing that. But I've seen a lot of videos where the cops in different areas have said this is the way that It's easier for us to do it if you do it this way. And so it just really depends on where you are.
Yeah.
And even in the state of Texas, it depends on where you are, right? Big city, small city, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, as to how they're going to do it. But you, in the state of Texas, you must immediately verbally declare it without being asked. If you do not, I can take you in on a charge. And then you'll actually lose your right to have a weapon. That is one of the statutes that you will become a prohibited person.
Interesting.
So that's the other thing. People forget that as a condition of some of these crimes, quote unquote crimes, you can lose your right. They can suspend your ability to carry for 5 years.
100%.
And that's what they'll do in Texas. And I always think it's funny that Texas is one of the real strict states with it. But where's someone asking this? I gotta pull this up. C. Allen, is there any truth if you have a CCW, it comes up when they run the plate? Yes and no. So here's the thing. What comes up when we run the plate is pertaining to the registered owner of the car. So like him, they said, we ran your plate and it said your license was suspended. The registered owner of the vehicle's license is suspended. It does not come up if you have a CCW. Now, we can run you and ask. And if you're not the registered owner, the car's in your name, your husband's name, whatever, your wife's name, then you have to, then it wouldn't come up. But they can still pull you over because and be like, hey, well, the person that this car is registered to's license is suspended. Oh, you're not that person? Okay, cool. But yeah, it doesn't come up.
Well, Mayor Wrench, technically, owning a CCW in a constitutional carry state, it depends on what it is, because there's two types of constitutional carry, because I know we had to pass two different bills in Texas. One was constitutional open carry, and then you had to have constitutional concealed carry. Like, they're two different things, so it depends on what it is.
Even in a constitutional carry, here's the thing. And I ran into this. Right, so Sandy, here's the thing. Indiana, you don't need a permit to conceal. Alaska, don't need a permit. There are plenty of states you don't need a permit. Right now, you don't need constitutional, you don't need a permit to carry concealed. Here's the thing. What I will tell you is you are statistically at a much higher risk of having a less than pleasant encounter. Because I can tell you when I've worked or done things in those states, the police officers are way more touchy when it comes to your behavior in vehicles, because we assume everybody is carrying in a state like that. So disclose it. It's your best course of business. And you were saying that you're going to get your CCW because of reciprocity.
Yes.
You actually have to be careful with that now. So several years ago, a few of the states that had reciprocity now do not give non-resident reciprocity.
Well, okay, so you're talking about you're not talking about a non-resident CCW, right? You're talking about someone who has a CCW from another state that previously had reciprocity. That's why I go check the map. I check the map all the time. Like, if I want to do something or go somewhere, the first two things I do whenever I travel from one state to another is check the gun laws in the state I'm going to. And the second thing I do is check the reciprocity with if I have a CCW, right? And so, because I used to have a non-resident Arizona CCW because I was in South Carolina, but I wasn't.
Yeah, lots of people did that, and most states don't recognize it anymore.
Well, maybe this was like back in, God, when was this? Like 2013, right? So back then it was fine, right? And except it was funny because Georgia wouldn't recognize it.
Ouch.
And so I was living in South Carolina, working in Georgia, and I couldn't carry it across state lines because they did not recognize the Arizona non-resident. But that's why I go check the map all the time to see what the updated map is. And so it's very easy to do. That's the problem I have with some of these people is it's very easy to check up on these laws. Like, it's not difficult.
Yeah, I generally, warn people that traveling is a whole lot more complicated when you add a firearm to it.
Well, and the thing is, and one thing you can do, and this is actually something I've done before, is if you're going to like a certain state or town or whatever, call the cops, like call the police station, non-emergency, obviously, and be like, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm, abiding by your laws and the rules of the state. Can I do this, right? And they can tell you the most updated, regulations and laws that they have, and thus your problem is solved. Because now okay, based on I made this phone call, and then they have a record of the phone call. And so if something happens, you're like, well, I called, and here's the record of my phone call. This is what I was told.
Yeah, it still can be problematic.
Well,
because I've run into cops that have no fucking idea. I've run into officers that have no clue. Like that I've worked with. I'm like, how do you not know?
That's
like,
scary
I don't.
because it's the same thing that scares me about some of these cops that don't understand like the aspects of some of the things that we see them run into with not only the soft set. Well, the soft set's not so much, but like the First Amendment auditors, yeah, it's scary. I know, I get that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: you have to remember that we generally behave a certain way because you're giving a certain energy. So whatever energy you give me is probably the same kind of energy you're going to get back.
Exactly. No, 100%.
And I don't generally recommend copying an attitude with somebody like me.
No, because it puts them on defense. Like I recently had a run-in with the sheriff's department, and it wasn't about me, but it was about someone near me, right? And so I was out talking to like a deputy sheriff, and I was like, this is what's going on and all this kind of stuff. It turned out to be a nothing burger, but I was like, oh, by the way, like, I was at a house. I was like, this is, I have my bag in there. My bag has a weapon in it. And he's like, no, it's fine. Everyone in Texas has a weapon. I was like, all right. And I was like, but here's my information, just in case. But if you wanted to know, let me tell you that there is one in there in case, so you guys understand, right? Because I don't want you guys to ever feel like, in danger or whatever, right? Not in an arrogant way, but just in a, like, you're out here doing your job, and I want to make sure that you understand everything that's out here. So.
Spencer of the family Canada LB. I ran into a soft sit in South Carolina. It was quite possibly one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I'm really sad I didn't videotape it.
I never ran into a soft sit in South Carolina, but I ran into a lot of Irish travelers.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
really
the subset that I ran into got into a screaming match with my other half when he was stationed at Paris Island as a DI.
Okay.
That didn't end well.
Depends on your definition of end well.
Well, it certainly didn't end well for that person.
It ended with my children making fun of the other adult that was in tears.
See? Told you.
Yep, that works. That works.
It didn't end well.
Yeah. Yeah, my wrench, motorcycles and guns are a whole other. Ugh. I hate having if I'm on a motorcycle, but.
I'm just saying, like, guns are like condoms. That's all I gotta say.
I'm sorry. That's I mean, like, maybe more applicable to you than me. I don't know.
Okay, so well, the phrase is guns are like condoms. I'd rather have one and not need it than need one and not have one.
Yeah, that's still a guy thing.
I think the logic carries over.
Yeah, in all honesty, the biggest issue I have, or that I try to explain to people, is you need to make sure it's not just that, like, what the state law about firearms, like if you can have them or not, and concealed carry or not. You have to watch out really carefully because your weapon may not be legal in that state. Is the other issue.
Well, it also depends, right? Because I know for California, when I went back there, this is before, I want to say before they outlawed the AR-15. The problem was if you were allowed to, if you already had one and came into the state, you didn't purchase it in the state, it was illegal to purchase one in the state. That was like the aspect of the law, right? But if you had one, you could bring it into the state and not have any trouble. But if
not
you
anymore.
Used it. This, like I said, this was back like years ago. So that was the way it was when they first started like outlawing. Same thing with Maryland, right? It was the same thing when I was stationed in Maryland, is that they banned the selling of said gun, but you could get a grandfather clause if you brought it in because you had bought it and had to own it from the previous state, right?
Yep, not anymore. It is now prohibited to possess in the state.
Man,
Which is kind of unfortunate.
California's about to get hit again. They got hit already with a Supreme Court ruling about concealed carry and all this kind of stuff and what they could give out, and they're going to get hit again. I swear to God.
Okay, California? Oh yeah, no, they live for it.
Gun Wrangler Smith, what do I think of the auditors that audit while open carrying? Yeah, you're a dumb shit.
Yes,
I did a video of a Second Amendment auditor trying to open carry through a fucking airport.
Yeah, he wanted to take that gun through security.
I would love for you to do the video with those guys that got they were soft sits and then they got pulled over and ticketed or whatever, and then they decided to carry inside the police station. I would love to hear you.
Go ahead and email me the video and I'll do it. Find it, email it to me, I'll do it.
If I can find
the armed fisherman. I have a video from the armed fisherman. Let me see which one it is.
But no, those guys.
Lawful open carry on South Beach with the armed fisherman is the one I happen to have. But I'll do more of them. Yeah, if you send me videos, we can do them. The problem is you know, you gotta remember, concealed carry and guns and things. You're playing fuck around and find out in a very dangerous way. You really are. Because the problem is, it is not hard to articulate a genuine fear if you're carrying. Yeah. So, you know, guns complicate everything regardless, and you have to know, you have to keep it in mind.
Of course.
News in Omaha just carries a rifle case with nothing in it. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Oh, Floyd. God, he's Mr. My back itches when he comes up to the cops, has his hand behind his back. I know you've seen him before, right? Yeah.
No.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. So Floyd, News Now Omaha was a guy, and I'm pretty sure he's not all mentally there, right? But he was being used by Patrick and News Now Never Getting Out of Prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
News Now Rapist. And they would, because what he would do is he would approach, like he would act all weird and stuff, and the cops would come to him. He would put his hand behind his back, and they're like, "Sir, you need to remove your hand behind your back." And he's like, "Oh, my back itches. My back itches." Like, "Sir, you need," like, he's lucky he has not had his birth certificate canceled yet because of the crap that he pulls. But he did that one time. He was like across the street from somewhere. He brought a rifle case and just set the rifle case on the ground. This is when he got tased. And he pulls his crap at the cops all the time.
Yeah, that's not a smart plan. That's a real quick way to get you shot.
Yep, like this, doing an operator's video. And it's true. It's not hard to articulate reasonable suspicion. And I can tell you, I have had a handful of people try to make a big deal out of a weapon that I have on me for some reason. And one of the biggest idiots was a school. I was in uniform and they called 911 to say there was somebody on the school property with a gun.
There's this like
but I was in uniform.
She has a gun and I don't know what's happening. This is
no. I was in uniform with a marked vehicle.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
In uniform.
Yeah. In a marked vehicle. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
She operates with her local SWAT team.
Yeah, and they.
No, I'm just saying the fact that you were in a uniform with a marked vehicle.
Yeah. Yes, the school called, and they also complained that I was parked in the fire lane.
Yeah, CCW. Yeah, that's the guy that does that stuff, and C. Allen's right too. He dresses like in a hoodie, and he's got a mask up, and he acts like, I mean.
Oh, I have seen that video, and I'm going to make fun of him. I've seen a video about him that I want to make fun of.
And so the thing was, and the thing you can find on Patty, on PayPal Patty's channel, there used to be a video with him and News Now Never Getting Out of Prison, sitting back in a car from a distance because they had put Floyd up to engaging with the cops, and they were filming it from a distance.
I would have.
Sick.
In that situation, I'd be filming for it from a distance, a very
No,
large.
but they did it on purpose because they wanted to catch the cops, like unaliving this guy.
What the fuck?
Yes, I'm dead serious. They put him up to it because they knew Floyd was dumb enough to go up there and put his hand behind his back when dealing with the cops.
Oh,
and acting sketchy, not want to answer questions. You don't get to know my identification. Like he did the whole, frauditor soft sit routine while scratching his back.
oh, yeah. Kudos to the cops for not shooting this fucker.
He's gotten tased, I think, at least once, but he's never anything other than that. Like the cops have been amazing with him. Either they know who he is ahead of time because I'm sure these cops get videos. Yeah, they usually get.
Yeah, they do talk.
Somebody sends them, right?
They do talk.
We usually do. Like if you looked at my MDT on certain things, you'll see the messages that come across like my MDT in the Tahoe some days, and it's like
so and so's in the area, so this is what they do, right?
So and so is walking down the side or standing on this street corner. You know what? The biggest auditor I've had to deal with issue-wise is one that tried to take my weapon.
Okay,
wow.
That guy's a moron.
Yeah, they kept reaching for my weapon.
So there's in my mind, like auditors and sauces, like you can be they cross over, right? The problem is sovereign citizens are dangerous. I'm not talking about the fucking fluffy ones that we see that get pulled over and get their windows broken and arrested. I'm talking about the ones that get out of their cars and engage cops, right? And
that's what it was. It was a sovereign citizen got out of the vehicle. And it happened to, they had called. They knew I was working because there was a female in the vehicle who had been running her mouth to the cop that if he touched her, she was going to cry the R word. If he put her in handcuffs, anything.
Oh, wow.
Because, whatever. She was a peach. And they called for me to come deal with her so I could pat her down and stuff. And she literally got out of the car, started walking towards me and reached for it. My exact words, like I put my left hand up, I said, stop right now because that's going to be the last thing you ever do. She looked at me. She looked at the other cops that were there, including now Police Chief Fisher, and he was like, she won't shoot her. And someone's like, and she did what? And he's like, she won't shoot you. She don't care. And that's going to be the last thing you do, sweetheart. They'll try to go for it. And that's one of the newer things you'll see. They'll try to reach for it to try to get you to bait you into a physical confrontation.
Yeah.
When you look at these soft sits and these auditors that are trying to bait people into conflict, for money, so they can, get their little lawsuit, they'll reach for your weapon, which is a real bad idea.
Yeah. Especially if you have your body cam on and it shows them doing exactly what you say happened. Sorry. You're dumb.
You're pretty dumb anyways if you come in contact with me.
Well, honestly, people that do these things are begging. A lot of these people are begging for a freaking Darwin Award.
The problem is most of them have reproduced.
What?
Most of them have already reproduced is the problem. You don't qualify for the Darwin Award if you reproduce.
That is sad and unfortunate.
It really is.
The desktop in Fulton County. I found no pop. Okay.
I want to mute for a second. I want to see if I can find that video. Maybe I can send it to you on this.
Well, I'm gonna just email it over. We're gonna say goodbye in a few minutes because
okay, sounds good.
I have a day of cleaning wax out of a rifle barrel.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you, Alan. What?
Do what?
Cleaning wax out of a rifle barrel.
And why would that wax be there?
Because I can tell you right now, if you run simunitions, they're the wax rounds.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is something you did to yourself.
Alan said he just sent you the Floyd video. I guess he emailed it to you.
Yeah, I'll pop it up. I'll pop it up tomorrow. We'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, no, it was a matter of using simunition. And unfortunately, when you run simunition through a large weapon with a very long barrel, it leaves a whole lot of wax inside. And there's a giant pain in the ass to clean all the lanes and grooves.
I'm familiar with sim munitions. I've had to do that cleaning job more than twice. Never again.
I have red wax coating the inside of the barrel of one of my weapons, and I'm not real happy about it because I made a mistake and I let someone borrow it.
Oh,
well, make them.
Are you gonna you know what? Just charge whoever it is for your time, for the time and labor to clean that shit out.
They just ruin it for everybody else because this is why. Like, this is the reason. Everyone's like, "Oh, I want to shoot your guns." No, this is why. Night, Spencer. But no. Yeah, no, Navy. It was great having you here, Croc.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna say goodnight, but everyone tomorrow during the day, Croc has his game stream. Everybody go check Croc's stream out. Croc, you're gonna put your own guy.
That'll be at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go poke around at a Harvest Moon game because why not? It's on my retro list.
What is wrong with Mika?
She's not giving as much attention as she thinks she's entitled to. That's what's wrong with me.
Then you stay safe and blessed, and if you and your family need anything else, you reach out to the beasties. We've got you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Gun Wrangler Smith. Gun Wrangler Smith, you have to. I don't know if you have my email, but email me if you want to talk about gunsmithing on one of the, because I'm going to discuss gunsmithing.
Ooh, that could be fun
on a stream. So if you'd like to,
to
join me for that discussion.
Yes, anybody who wants to chip in for her food bill, yeesh, they're certainly welcome to do so. That they're certainly welcome to do so tomorrow. I'm going
to say goodnight to everybody, and thanks for being here. We all depend, and if y'all find other funny stuff, we will address it. And soon, all 50 states' firearms laws videos are coming out. They're going to roll one a day, so those should be coming out soon.
Sounds great.
So I'm going to say, I love you. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, did somebody? They didn't get back. Gun Wrangler. It is, but hold on. It is in my about. All my socials are, but there you go. See, Alan, I can do that. That's easy. I'll do flying with firearms. Not a problem. Okay, I'll see y'all. Y'all are loved. Let me know if you need anything. Bye, guys.
Bye.